present Shmoo. All right. Today, guys, I'm going to show you how to take a pinch pot and turn it into an ocarina. Ocarinas have a really long and maybe illustrious history. I don't even know. I really don't know much of the history. But I do know that they have found ocarinas in archaeological digs and dated them back 10,000 years. Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
10,000 years. I would think about like hunter-gatherer tribes or whatever, we're just doing everything we can to survive. But no, they had a sense of play too. They're making whistles, you know? What's not cool about that? Making a whistle. So anyway, it all starts with the pinch pot. Hopefully you got your pinch pot technology down. Double check before you work with it that it's nice and uniformly thick all over and that there are no cracks happening from the mouth. When you're working with your shmoo, remember you want to cradle the piece. Don't set it down, because if you set it down, it's going to get a flat bottom, and a flat bottom shmoo is not very useful. If you do have to go to the bathroom or something like that, set your pot down thusly. Or if you've already made your shmoo, set it down on its side. Preserve the nice rounded buns of steel here. Okay? So, and we're going to bring the lips together. But we want to do it so that it's like, and I'll need to get my face, so that it's like an old man who doesn't have a dental dam. It's like me in 10 years. Not like this. You see my profile? We don't want to bring lips together like duck lips or like Mick Jagger lips. So, no Mick Jagger, yes, old man. So, like that. So that it's flat across the top. Here's how you do it. Hold the pot like this. So my pinkies are down on the bottom of the pot and my forefinger and thumb right up here. So, I have it so my fingers aren't hidden behind. They're kind of on top, leading the way, like that, so that we're nice and flat across this way. We're not going to make a shark fin out of it. We're not going to make duck lips. We're going to bring these things together like that. So I got it tested. Great. Now I'm going to dip my fork in a little bit of slip. And I want to score the bejeepers right out of that guy. And that's not enough. That's not enough. You want to see good, creamy, moist slippage. Slip action on there. So I've just totally, like a bear going after a tree, man, marking my territory. Score one way, score the other way. It doesn't have to be pretty. It just has to work. I'm going to really get this mud going in here. Totally get this mud. Okay. And here's the magic part. Remember, I'm cradling it. I'm not putting it down. And I'm going to stitch it up now. I'm going to zip the lips. See how we're nice and flat across here? It's not sticking out this way. I'm going to have this profile that just kind of comes around like that. So take a little bit of time to just get that together. And think, like right now, this is like, it's a balloon basically. I don't like to think of it as a balloon though. I like to think about it in terms of food. So we have like a nice empanada. So this is the bread, and then there's some magical stuff inside, or maybe like calzone. Calzone.
It's so tasty.
It's so good. Who knows what could be in the calzone? Is it pepperoni? Is it cheese? Okay. Before I go on to the next step, I'm going to do just a little bit of table ironing, where I very tenderly just kind of back and forth, a little bit of that. And the table is making it nice and purty for me. I can very gently kind of rock it back and forth, not putting too much pressure. You know if you put too much pressure on it, if it starts to go flat on you. Okay, so that is step one. The lips are now officially zipped. Now, I have a very important choice to make. One of these ends of the shmoo is going to become the tail. I like this guy because there's a little bit more meat to work with. Know what I'm saying? So now we are going to nudge the bump. We're going to make that tail go up. Note the grip. I'm going to put my whole hand and fingers over there so that this thumb right over here can just ease it. I'm just nudging it. I'm not like grabbing it with a pair of pliers and yanking it into shape. I'm just easing with it, baby. Hey, don't need to rip the tail off it, man. Just nudge that bump a little bit. Just give it a little bit of nudge. That's okay. And so now I've got new anatomy going on here. Got a little bit of crack, but I'm okay with that. So I've got the back or the spine. So we think about this as the back. And we've got a belly. And we've got a tail. So belly, back, tail. So if I had a head, it'd go up here somehow. Like if I were going to make a bird or something out. Beep, 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 beep. Little legs. Doo, 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 doo. Like the partridge family. Right around in there. Okay. So I've got that. Now I've got a shmoo. And we call it a shmoo because there's really no other name for it. Now for the tricky part. We are going to fork it. That's right. You've done all this nice work, and now we're going to fork. Fork selection, really important. You want a fork or a spoon that has a fairly narrow profile to it. If it's too wide, it's going to make things really hard to manage. Really, really hard. We're going to make 2 holes in it. So you're going to have one hole that goes in through the tail, and is going to come right out here. So I'm going to go like that. You see how we're going straight in? We're not going up at a crazy angle. We're not going to go down into it. I want it so it's going to go right up the spine. Like that. And then take a little bit of time to dress your hole. Make sure that there aren't any little clay boogers inside there. No boogie oogie. It's nice and clean. And now we're going to make another hole that goes in right where the tail meets the spine at a 45-degree angle. I'm going to keep this in the same position so that there's more of a channel here. This side's at 45, this side's at 45. Everybody can get this one. This guy screws up about half the people because they go like this and then they just crank the fork up, but if you do that, it won't whistle. One there. So, here we go. I'm going to go this way. Like that. Right here where the tail meets the spine, in at a 45. Now I'm going to just pull that.
One hand on a tail reach the spine, and then a fly forward, along the right side. Just pull that.
Now that's shmoo forking right there. I tell you what, that there's shmoo forking. And now I'm just going to take this guy and like take that little wave that occurred there off. And now you got to dress it out a little bit. Woo-hoo! Just like we're going to be dressing the turkey later this week, baby. Tell you what. Okay, I'm looking through. When I look through this little hole, I should be able to see the top of the spine. So part of the air is going to go in here and get down into this, tumble around. Part of the air is going to go right over the top. Works every time.